Hello everyone and welcome to another review from my channel. It's been a month, it's been maybe 5-6 weeks, and that's some people maybe think why. Um, well, to explain it simple without any bullshit, I've been very busy, that's all. So yeah, today we were going to react to The Glowing Man by Swans. That's the next in the discography I'm going to do. I also want to really push through the last Swans album, that discography, until the new album drops, which I'm really excited to do. I don't know what's going to come in my way right there, but I mean, I went through like over 30 years of a time of this group, and it's amazing to just like see all of the little facets, the little details, all the changes in their discography, their last two albums this year, and to be kind were just masterpieces. I really enjoyed listening to those. They were just like really different in just like feeling and writing, the genre expansing and developing sounds. It was really amazing, something I've never ever listened to, and that's something I really want to accomplish on this channel. Just listening to something I never listened to, something that I'm exploring, and so on. So yeah, I'm really happy to do The Glowing Man today. It's a 2 hour album. We're gonna just sit through this in one sitting. I've still got some time today, so I'm happy to be here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope I also will do Leaving Meaning after this one, which is, as I think, the last album in their discography until this point. So really looking forward to that also. When next week or this week even, I'm not 100% sure, the new Swans album drops. So yeah, I don't know anything about the last trilogy album right here of this one. And the only thing I know is some people love this one even as much as they love all the other ones of this trilogy. It has the same groups, the same sound, maybe also the same writing. I'm not sure if it's going to continue with like the writing where To Be Kind stopped, which was really interesting in writing and something really wild. While I still think that the seer, just from the lyrics, the writing, and something like that, is still superior than To Be Kind. While To Be Kind has a better sound idea of genre expansing and really like groovy sound with some noise rock stuff and post rock that crushes your head, and I love stuff like that. So let's see what The Glowing Man will do. I really didn't hear any track of this. While I saw one snippet of like one live show once, but I don't remember which song it was. But I think it doesn't really even matter because it was just one song and just like one section because some person on Discord sent to me, but I think it's still fine. But yeah, I don't know what else I got to add. So let's get into it. We got 8 tracks. It's 2 hours. The first track is called Cloud of Forgetting. Let's listen. listening to new Swans music and just like 3.5 minutes of the first track that is like 12 minutes and it just mind blowing, just speaks for itself. Amazing composition right from the bat. I love how the very medieval sound almost get introduced with those like very high played guitars. I don't even know what those are. Maybe some Mediterranean guitars. Sounds really interesting. Getting to the also compositions, the slide guitar is amazing. Gets like really interesting chord progressions out. Sometimes gets higher, lower, like some really string arrangements in some big compositions by some well-known composers, if you know what I mean, from old times and so on. Some writers, and that really shows like how Gio really puts in his mind into this stuff. Like this arrangement is so wide, even more wider than this here, as I can remember. Like this track, how it will starts more developing than any other first tracks or openers of any Swans album I listened to so far. So this is really intriguing, in my opinion. So I really love this. But yeah, let's continue. Amazing vocals right here by Jiro. I always loved this like really spacing, like weight heavy singing. Like those notes are so long and so heavy, and there are so much how it's like he composed this like in a big arrangement stuff. I don't know, maybe like a church or something, if you know Jiro. But like in a big hall, and it sounds so wide and amazing. It's like that's how a frontman have to sound. Like he has to big his a big piece of the sound arrangement and overall, if you know what I mean. And then the lyrics: walking out, counting up, breathing, reaching out, God, 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 leaving, no, surrender, surrender. Very small words, very minimalistic, as in to be kind, more like to be kind. And those small words just like mean so much, and you can just really feel what really Jiro wants to convey right here through all of his religious stuff that he wants to get out, which are this like his own feelings and stuff like that, and how he always also like in tracks like Oxygen, like breathing is something so that you just do, but if you really think about it, which is just so important. I don't know. That sounds so weird and so dumb to just talk about, but still, if you really think about that, you just like breathe every moment just to live. I don't know. Well, anyways, these are just things that Swans let me just think about when listening to their music. It's just amazing. And then leaving now, surrender. And then the stuff that will move on with all the track getting on. So let's see where else this gets. The arrangement just like kind of like stayed the same. Also the chord progressions, Sometimes it goes up very slowly and then it down again. It really isn't changing much, but still it's great. So let's see what else it gets. Right here, the track really evolves in such a like a big, amazing crescendo, where it gets really loud after like he screams out surrender, and then it really explodes like it wanted to be. The piano on this also, I didn't mention that, is amazing. Like right from the beginning of this track, it really evolves into a big, little melodic, minimalistic thing that really flows into this track beautifully, which is something I also love. Let's see what's the next. The last 2 minutes of the track will do.
I am blind. I am blind.
The ending of this track right here really reminds me of the soundtrack of For the Blind, where it lyrically is always about disabilities and stuff like that, also being blind because the father of Michael Gira got blind because of a disease, and also when he wants to encapsulate the sound of being blind, which is something you can't really do because blind is something with your eyes and not with your ears. But always something I had with like Swans music is you can sometimes really see the music in colors and in just like the feeling it has. So right here going into children, children, children save us and so on, and then I am blind, and then it really goes into a deep voice at the end and then a big piano drop. That's an amazing first track right here. Though I don't think this the first track is a masterpiece, I still think that is one of the most really gripping first tracks of the Swans discography, besides Screenshot, which is of course a different league right there, but still it's something between a 9 and a 10 right here. Right? Cloud of Forgetting, really nice track. Let's see what the next track would do, which is called Cloud of Unknowing. Let's see what this track will do. Let's listen. the guitar in the back on the right side really sounds like a scream or something. It's really distant, or just it's like not a guitar, even just like a rattle percussion. It really sounds interesting. It sounds like a scream that really drives me apart. And um, the the bass on this one, if it's even the bass or just like a single guitar, more or of a lower plug on the a first E string. Um, it sounds very dark, and it's like a little bit like a Hans Zimmer um, soundtrack where it's just like dum 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 dum, and it just like always at the back, and it really gives us a little bit of like a suspicious vibe, which is amazing from the start of this track, Cloud of Unknowing, from getting from the first track, which is called Cloud of Forgetting. So from just all of your like things that you know, just forgetting, and all of maybe something like maybe of a kind of dementia going away into something that is just unknowing, which is also very scary, and which makes sense with these really scary strings. I think it's a slide guitar that they use just without. Oh, is it? No. I think the slide guitar is in the back, so maybe it really is like a weird string. Maybe maybe it could be by the one percussionist of this group who uses some reed instruments. Maybe it's like a string instrument he made or something, or he uses. It could be something like that, but it's amazing. Let's continue. Great job right here with those really intense bass guitars that I love. That really sounds like some stuff of To Be Kind, just very slow. It's like on maybe 60 or 70 BPM, something between that, probably. Um, Amazing sound right here. Also, just like the very simple noisy guitar just on the right side. There's a lot on going on the right side, but there's not a lot on the left side. Maybe something that they want to give still some space to develop, so you still know there's still something coming. That's a Swan thing that they always do. But yeah, still amazing composition right here. Also from the vocals, just like coming in right here, and then from the lyrics, right there, I know that this will come after this one, while he starts like very slowly, and it's some poems that just starts with one word. You know, the second verse is going to start in the same way, just to develop some more, and that's the same thing they do with the music. So it really always makes sense. Well, anyways, let's move on. That was an awesome moment right there, like RV, and it's just like evolving with also this female backing vocal right into this grand crescendo, which was awesome with those like rumbling low tones and kick drum, which was amazing, and just little main section part right there. I hope it continues like that, but it was really nice right there. Also from the progression flowing into there. In a sense, like it's really wide. It's screaming, but more in a shouting way, like it's like a last prayer of something before dying or something. Then calling Ave. What is even Ave? I don't really know what they mean with that. Maybe it's like a Latin word or something. I'm not really sure. But this calling and calling and calling, cloud of unknowing. You don't know what it's coming, and you're just like calling maybe in a higher power or something, and it's so damn amazing, and just like the whole feeling he just screams out right here and shouts out. It's not screaming, it's not loud, don't understand me wrong, but it's just like the emotions are just like screaming. And all that with those like building and swelling guitars is amazing. Wait, where did we had those bells? Those bells are really familiar. Was that in the seer? I don't remember. But what the is this writing? And then calling, Monster Eat, Jesus feel, and so on. And then this, all the other stuff coming in, whatever this is. And the bells coming in, but the little section right at the beginning where it's like this pre-crescendo with this female backing vocals just like swelling up even more and getting wider and wider through all this like 25 minutes of a track is amazing of a progression. One of the best I've heard at Swans, but still something very different and amazing besides all the other stuff they put out so far until 2016 when this album came out. But still, I can't tell you how amazing this ride is for me. Just to really like feel for the first time in these like heavy parts. And there was no noise on this album so far, coming into this one right here, which is also something new. For example, the screenshot, the To Be Kind first track just like ends in this complete noise, but this one really doesn't. And it is a different approach than all of the other albums, which is amazing again. And Swans just like keeps doing something like that, and it's amazing. But let's see how this album, this track will end up. Right here, the damn, I had a brain lag right. Anyways, right here, the more longer sections come in again, which we had a lot of at the beginning, or also in the previous track, Cloud of Forgetting. Right here, it goes into more like this side stick kind of like drumming, which is something very different and some really really weird, because the main guitar right here just like does boom, 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 like it really wants to give before the main part of the end 5 minutes or something explodes. I'm not really sure. The vocals though stays the same while not really having any like big impact or something right now. More like something that really gives you a weird feeling. The bass though is something I really feel right here. It's something new, it's something amazing, and it really like drives you and has an impact on you, which had the bass, for example, on a Screenshot or Oxygen, or like the second track, Mouth of the World from the Seer, something like that, and it's amazing again. So let's see where else it gets. I don't know why, when I think about these lyrics right here, I think about a certain story of a book. I always think about it's about a person taking care of the father has a disability, and always thinks about like the stuff he went through, and the father always telling about his story, what he went through in his life, so he can live on. And this right here also really reminds me of that I am calling, I am washing your son, your skin, your son, your skin. I am watching, I'm calling, I'm washing your skin, I'm washing, and so on. I always thought about that right now. It's, by the way, a really good story, which I really love. Also, there's some other stories, because I really think those dramas are really something you can really get into to understand, like people who have a different mindset. And Jiro always, like on some interviews that I watched, always talks about like death and how life is something you haven't really deserved sometimes, how it calls. There's some like things that he says in that interview, which is something a little bit different, but he always thinks about life and death and something in between that, and it's just like washing somewhere else in your skin, your sun, and something like that. Um, Something where you appreciate someone else's life and something like that. I don't know, it's really something what he meant right here, but just a feeling that I got maybe makes sense in that sense. But anyways, I enjoy this track. Let's see how it will end up. There's no big part though, which is not something I don't like. I appreciate it. Let's see how it will end up. Cloud of Unknowing was an awesome longer track, more different tracks than all the tracks Swans did so far. My most favorite part was of course the crescendos, but the build up to the crescendos was awesome. Um, the first 15 minutes really have a numbing feeling of like dread, almost something like you don't remember something unknowing, which makes like the feeling of a person who really almost is dealing under dementia or something. I'm not really sure if it's something that was meant, that Michael, that Jiro wants to do on that track, but still, it's something, just a feeling that I got. And after that, with all those repeating rhythms, something not really more getting into this track besides the really heavy bass, and after the crescendo parts where it gets wider and wider, but something not developing in the main part, which I first thought will happen, but it didn't. It's something I didn't thought. So I think that's a good thing, that it's not predictable, if you know what I mean. But still, I was like, well, I don't even know what they would do from the main part section, because there wasn't really a rhythm besides the bass guitar or something else that really flew into this one, or really grew, sprouted, if you know what I mean. So still, I think that that track was really awesome. It's not one of the best Swans track I've ever heard, so I'm feeling a 9. But it's true, you can see was like a 25-minute track what Swans are incapable of, or capable of, not incapable. My English is not the best, you always know what they are capable of. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So let's see what the third track would do, which is called The World Looks Red / The World Looks Black. A double track with a length of 14.5 minutes. So let's see what this will do.
People with fish eyes, the weight of my body, it's too much to
This track goes again into some like feelings of like memory loss and something like that. Like the memory drains. It's too much to bear. The weight of my body. Walk on my fingertips. The ground sucks. People with fish eyes. The world looks red. Push it away, and so on. the memory drains, and it's just like something of a feeling of um, like if the sea is something from the ground, something like a monster coming up, then to be kind is like the apocalypse of this monster, and right here the monster gets old and sound like it's really dreary and dies, and it's memory loss and something like that. That's always like a feeling I got throughout this album right here from the first three tracks. It's like a very slowish album, not like all the other two Swans albums of this trilogy. But this right here is something like a genius songwriting right here, which gives this trilogy really a cycle of writing aspect, which is amazing. Well, all is of course like a flood with spirituality and something like that, of course. But as I see this right here, it's a lot of like this songwriting on soundtracks for the blind. If you get what I mean. But well, anyways, let's see what else. Those Sims are really burying my mind right now. Like this, also this writing duo, bury my mind in a horsehair coat in a pile on the floor. That's like really dark things right there, and then it goes into this Sims that are really like, almost like really annoying, inside your head, and it's amazing how it flows into this track right here. It would always probably will move on with that, but it's amazing. Um, Also, something I never talked about is the piano on this one. The piano writing on this one is something really interesting, and something never really done. Besides of some albums like Children of God, I think there's like a piano track, if I remember that correctly, if it was that album or it was the Rabbit album. I forgot the name. Anyways, but well, let's continue. Amazing progression right here, and it's just like a follow, and it's so on. I mean, yeah, that's the lyrics. But anyways, besides that, the horns are amazing. Reminds me of some of the most wildest tracks on To Be Kind. Well, this right here is just like crazy. It's like I don't know, like a crazy city where people just like walking around and they are just like and just like talking some nonsense or something like that. You can hear even some voices by Jira in the back right there. Then he just like implemented it right there, and I don't think they have any thing that want to add to that, but still follow the sleeper man, follow the maker man, and so on, and something like that. That's also something that really comes into some maybe some politics things that Gio wants to talk about. I'm not really sure because it's out of 2016, if you know what I mean. But what anything. Anyways, I don't know what really this still means, but still I think it's amazing in the chord progressions and the progression and the writing. So well, let's see what the last 4 minutes will do for this track.
Follow the maker man. Follow the sleeper man. Follow the sleeper man.
What an amazing drone and ambience right at the end right there with some like huge whole and vocal big progression right there. But I still think that while this whole album has some groovy parts, some big parts, some heavy parts, some really out there parts that really like blow your mind, something you wouldn't really expect. This still really surprises me with just the writing, the thoughts and feeling it gives to me. While maybe yes, to be kind is maybe stronger, and this here is maybe even heavier with all the different aspects flowing into the album. I think this one really just builds and builds with each track and each track, which is just like so these long tracks. Maybe with some further listens, even maybe every single track will have its explosion, but still I think that the first track really builds up to all of this. The third track right here was this double track, the world looks red, the world looks black, red and black and so on, really gives you just like this really feeling of dread and how maybe this world in Jiwa's eyes just looks. And also was flowing into this drone and something like that at the end, that the world will be black or something like everything is dead before that is all this anger and all those trumpets come in there, and the piano is there, which is just like really jingly, sometimes maybe like a military song or something, I don't know which purpose that has, but then it looks black, death or something like that, and you really look in the face of death, and then the drone and the vocals come in like at the end of this track. That's just the feeling of this track that it gives me. Non-tracks on To Be Kind or maybe the album this year gives me something like that in the concept, and that makes this album for me like an experience. So for that, something between a 9 and a 10 for this double track right here. Let's see what the next track will do, which is called People Like Us.
We're drifting goodbye on a rust-colored cloud. Oh, fallopian friends, abandon us now. Our systems are full of bones ground to dust. Come swallow the wine we squeezed from our breath. The ocean is shifting, we're sailing the miles.
Amazing track. I love the strings on this one. Sometimes these also female backing vocals like this at the end of the, not the verse, more like the sentence right there. It comes in just like with a wah or something, just to give it more of a swell of a ride, and then the strings come in and it really flows into the songwriting right here, which is so full. We didn't have something like this in such a long time from Michael Giro. Maybe like Children of God or something. Maybe back then we had such a full songwriting. Maybe Soundtracks Was Blind even. There were some tracks which has something like that. We're drifting goodbye on a rust-colored cloud. Rust-colored, like flowing from the previous track where the world looks black, and it's like something that is old, which will be maybe not something we can live on anymore. We're drifting goodbye on a rust-colored cloud, like maybe just like a rusty world, because there's like all this rubbish we can't get rid of, all the plastic and something like that, and everything gets old. Maybe something where we even have lived anymore, and everything rusts. Our fallopian friends abandon us now. Our cisterns are full of bones ground to dust. So there is something that is really dead, and that's just like something which is so damn creepy on this one. This guy shows a bruise where our fingers have touched, which is also amazing. Flowing into the first one, the first sentence right there. Come suck on this vine, it tangles and nets. Come swallow the wine we squeeze from our breath. Like the last drops maybe will be something that will keep us alive or something. The ocean, or like the water maybe, is like nothing there anymore. We are all like thirsty in something. Maybe we even dead. The ocean is shifting, we're sailing the muck. There's nothing like water anymore. You see, the methane is rising to heaven above. Like methane, I only know the German word methan. Like all this, like this muck have this like the smelly breath, and the methane is all rising to heaven above, and will do the rusty colored cloud. That's songwriting. That's songwriting. It gives me some really heavy feeling, like some, maybe some. How is the movie called again? I only watched the newest one from 2010, 11 or 12 or something. Mad Max Fury Road. The name is Mad Max Fury Road. That's a movie that really hit me when I was watching that when I was like 12 or 11 or something. It was blowing my mind, like where you really have to have water. Like it's normal, you have it from the tap or something, tap water. You have it from like bottles and something. It's really something normal. And then I watched the movie and I was like, damn, that's going to happen in the future. We all gonna have this water, and it's maybe something that is like the most expensive thing ever. And you're rich if you have much water. Amazing songwriting. This is the best track so far. Let's see where else this gets.
The woods are all gone,
Come on, give it a monumental. Come on, yeah. It's a 10. It's monumental. It's a perfect Swans track. Something I really wanted to do this album. Like the first two tracks where I talked about like maybe something like something that is very something post-human, and right here we get into like a stuff like that. I love dystopian songs. I love dystopian vibes. I love dystopian books, dystopian stuff. That's just my go-to. I don't know why. But anyways, I love stuff like that. Like we're tracing our shape on the walls of your house. We're surfing on the sand that spills from your mouth. Like you want to drink water, but it's all sand and you're like coughing up and stuff like that. It's such an eerie stuff for like here. We're coming for more cause nothing is left. You really want the sand spills from your mouth. That really also makes me think of like poor children in Africa which like really eat sand just to have something in their stomach. That's like so damn dark. The words are all gone. There's more to be said. Sands are the way on ships made of silk. Like the last thing that we just like scrape up together. Send us to fly. Black skies washed with milk. It's so damn awesome. People like us, we need a dream to escape. People like us, we need to sleep to awake. Like all the last 8 sentences right here, it comes into this dream. Like send us away. Like with all the last things that maybe we have, something that really we dream of. Like ships made of silk, black skies washed with milk, something like that. And it's amazing song, and I can't. Oh, come on, give it one more time. It's amazing, amazing track. It's an amazing track. It's a 10. Damn. Like it's not heavy. It's not out there. It's something like from Children of God. Something like from that Rabbit album. I love All Is Love. I can't remember the name of that album. Beautiful stuff right here. I love this track. Damn. I want to listen to it again. It's amazing. Well, anyways. Let's see what's the next track, which is called Frankie M. Let's listen. Amazing track after the last one. People like us right here. Frankie M starts like a really like a heating feeling, like it's burning and it's like you're in a desert or something, and it's like this white just like field, and the sun is heating and you have no water, and it's like there's no hope left. That's just like how this track starts right here, and it's amazing. the album just keeps on getting better and better and better. From the previous track, this track Frankie M is just like building and building, and there's this huge wall of sound of female backing vocals with Jiras like just shouting, which is amazing. Very many uses of cymbals right here, just like getting like a touch of a rhythm that will maybe later turn into like a chaos or something. And right here also like the big guitar noises, like there's such a wall of sound from these guitar, like 2 or 3 guitars, and it's amazing. The sound is amazing. What an amazing crescendo and a big part for this track right here. Like coming on with all the vocals and all the stuff that we had before that together, and just like rumbling and rumbling and rumbling and rumbling and really screaming. And I can't even explain it. Like with all those like silent parts before that, and all of these parts that really like keep you down and really let you sink and really get wide, and people like us with all the story, and now it really like breaks all together. And no, it's just like all gone in just madness. And Frankie M right here is amazing with just this whole aggression in this part right here until the 11th minute 23, where it cools down then, and with some of the best drums I've heard in the Swans discography. This is amazing. Let's see where else it gets.
Frankie M, Frankie M, live again, live again. There's a sign, there's some time. Clean your mind, Frankie M. Frankie M, Frankie M, butterfly, butterfly.
awesome vocals on this one and lyrics again. And like right here, it's like very different from like the most heaviest part on the song so far. It goes on with Frankie M. I don't know who this M is, but then it continues with live again, live again. Who's your friend, Frankie M? Clean your eyes, there's signs, there's some time, clean your mind. Heroin, opium, methadone, MDMA. So like always those drugs come in, then butterfly. You have some wishes probably because of those drugs. That's maybe also why on the one track we had this concept of flying from the world you are in, the black world. Like I think it was on the third track, and you want to just like escape into the clouds. That's maybe something also flowing into this concept right here. Break the last step is high, choke is named, nothing left, and so on. It's so dark still. Those side sticks on the drums are amazing. This is one of the best drumming sections of all of the album. Again, like from all this track, it really is something really great right here. I love this. Let's see where it gets.
Break a glass, stab his eye, choke his neck. Frankie M, Frankie M, Frankie M, Frankie M. Oh, don't die.
Yeah, that's another amazing Swan track in the discography. The writing is amazing. This amazing crescendos. These amazing crescendos. There are two of these harsh crescendos. First, it has the first kind of like this flavor and wall of sound. Right at the end, it has another where it is more like different. Gets on with different chord progressions, just like slams you in the face with all those different chords. A little bit faster though, from my feeling. The sections in between that though are also even better. It has these great drummings. The side sticks are amazing between that. The beginning with those like lyrics coming out was like live again, rise again, who's your friend, clean your eyes, there's some time, heroin, opium, methadone, MDMA, and something like that. It keeps on with also maybe the concept going into a very different direction than I first thought in the first 4 tracks, which is amazing. So yeah, feeling something between a 9 and a 10 for this one. So really great. Let's see what the next track will do, which is called
1, 2,
When Will I Return?
4.
His hands are on my throat, shards of glass, a starry night. When will this pigman stop? His stink is like a dog. Open wide, the mouth of death still calls my name, and I scream until he goes. I scream until he's gone.
What are these lyrics and who is this vocalist? I have to look that up. 1 second. Featuring Jennifer Gira. Is was written by Michael Gira to be sung by his wife Jennifer Gira about an incident when she was sexually assaulted. His hands are almost short. My key is in his eye. I'm splayed here on some curb. Shards of glass is starry night. When will this pigman stop? His stink is like a dog. My life is mine to keep. I still kill him in my sleep. The car door is open wide. The mouth of death still calls my name. I beat him on his face, and I stab with all my strength, and I scream until he goes.
Then I walk across the road, turn. When will I return?
That's one of the most terrifying tracks of Swans I've ever read, more than heard, because of the lyrics. Like at the end, then I crawl across the road. When will I return to this sexually assaulting man? and just like singing in the head, "Oh, I'm alive, at least I'm alive," and something like that. I don't even want to talk about the lyrics anymore, but those are just monumental. The track is amazing. The lyrics in between of those vocals by Jiwa's wife Oiti are beautiful. That's some of the most beautiful, heartful vocals I've heard in a very long time. I'm just thinking, does she even like make music or something? Does she even sing? But this, if yes, great job. If not, what the... Yeah. This is amazing. This is, I have to. It's monumental. I don't care. 2 monumental tracks so far on this album. Swans level. Nothing else is on there. Great track. I don't know why the most shortest track on this album so far are the best ones, but they are also so different. So many lyrics, while the longer tracks doesn't even have many lyrics, if you know what I mean. But they are just, those short tracks so far are just so full of story, feelings, backstory, and so much else stuff that it's amazing to me. Those guitar work also, just like always highly played, is amazing. And also those big corks in the back. I don't know if those are since these diddle are amazing. Those sounds like some like digital guitar sounds or something, just like really weirdly mixed or something, which I really also loved. So yeah, the track was monumental. The one was great, mind bending. Let's see what's the next track we'll do. It's amazing so far. Which is called The Glowing Man. It's the most longest track on this album. Let's see what this one will do. Great track so far. I don't even know where to begin. First, it's those wiggle, amazing. Gives you a really psychedelic feeling. Is there something like psychedelic drone noise rock? I'm not sure, but anyways, it's amazing, amazing sound. Coming to that, the first riff, then I think Jira plays those, like this main basic electric guitar. That's always Jira, I think, and it's amazing right here. It sounds amazing. It really comes in, and then this no, just like he's a real go getter. He's a real heartbreaker breaker. He's a real head splitter. Sounds like a really tough person, and then it goes to no, nah, no. I think Jiro doesn't like this person. Even after the last track, maybe he talks about people who are in general like that, like this glowing man. And that's amazing. Let's see where this writing and track goes. We have some time left on this one. What is going on in this track? We're only in 12 minutes in, and there's like this crescendo, which I first thought is going to be like in Frankie M, just like the same, but then it builds and gets even an chord higher and even higher, and then it really like rolls and growls and growls and growls, and it just like goes on and on like a fire in your brain, and it's just like it won't stop, and it's the most heaviest part in this whole album, which just makes it more exciting than anything else, because if you wait 1 hour and an hour for like stuff that like this happening, which sounds just like so damn good, it's so rewarding, and it's something that Swans just like makes so good. And yeah, I love this track to, I don't know, to infinity. This is a great track so far. Let's see where this gets. And then it just keeps on like coming back, and sometimes just like slowing down and then coming back again and biting, and just like what is this? Like those different stops just like makes this just so heavy. What is going on in this track? Like this is a I don't even know how to describe this one. Are there any other Swans track that really like are this like heavy, just with those little waitings, and then it just like slams you again? I think there was like one track on this here which was like this, if I remember, or was it To Be Kind, the title track, the last one? I don't really remember. But this heavy and this mind bending, also with those like symbols, and then just move on with the speed of the very fast guitars, because they just like really do this all the time, and then they wait and do this again in a really fast way. You don't really even hear it because of like it just rolls. I can't imagine how loud this is live, but this is amazing.
Joseph is standing behind my back. Joseph is digging his hands in my chest. Joseph is making my body fly.
This just reminds me of a game that I have seen on YouTube, which is called Scorn. If you know, you know. Joseph is standing behind my back, like he's just like up there, just like standing behind his neck, and is digging hands in my chest. Is drinking the light in my lung, like right here, just like juicing it all out and moving his tongue in my neck right here, riding a vein in my head, and then cutting my arm on his bed. He's making my body fly. You just like get tortured by this creature, almost like this Joseph. And it just reminds me of this game called Scorn, like this creature which is on your back, which gives you some power, but it's just like it's like a parasite that just like uses all of your life essences out of you, and does all of these things until it's like as big as you and just like eats you, and it's gruesome. And just gives me the feeling right here with all of those big drones, heavy parts, and it's just so damn creepy. It's amazing. Let's move on.
Joseph is making my body fly. Joseph is me and you are a liar. Joseph is me and you are a liar. Joseph is me and you are a liar.
Amazing part right here. His vocals gets even more stronger and stronger and stronger until it grows. Joseph is me and you are a liar, and it's just like so damn. It's so weird and so heavy. He's like shouting that out, and it just like makes you insane. Like all of these 20 minutes, and it doesn't get even boring at all. It's building and building and building and getting more insane and insane about this person. I don't even know what the concept is anymore. Going into Joseph is me making my body fly. Maybe because he gets more power through Joseph. Maybe he even likes what he does to him. Maybe he likes the pain. I don't know. He's making his body fly. Joseph is me and are you a liar? I'm a glowing man, and so on. Maybe it goes also into this concept of this one track in their album Carp, where there is this concept of this person who is who's captured and getting like tortured and stuff, but he's still don't likes it, hates it, but also likes it because it's something he was maybe made to be, born to be, he deserved to be, or something like that also. But in this sense, it's just like so damn weird. Like these two people are just so weird because the one likes it, one is a psycho, and the other one is just like, yes, do it. Why? Wow. And it just gets more insane and intense, and the drumming also coming in at the halftime just makes your head blown. It's just a heavy groove, like from all the beginning. The first like 40 minutes or something are just like really steady. It has a weird type of drumming, and you really can't really get into it. And first, like, well, there's just like some noise parts, and then it stops again, and then there's just this groovy part, and the guitar just like growl in this rhythm, and everything is just like connected to each other. It's like these two psychos, or just like this whole group of psychos of Swans are just like perfectly together in all of this mess that this really is. And this makes it so good to me right now. I don't know why.
Glowing man. Nothing man. I'm a glowing man. I'm a glowing man. I'm a nothing man.
First of all, that's the best Swans track I've ever heard. That's maybe one of the best tracks or pieces of music I've ever heard in my entire life of 20 years. That was life changing. The Glowing Man. I've never been as blown away by a track since To Be Kind's Oxygen. And before that, a long time ago. This was beautiful. This was amazing. This was heavy. It was like I watched just a whole movie right now. I'm feeling like I went out of cinema and don't know where to start to talk about. Why do I even start? First, at the end, you can even hear like a member of Swans just like scream because of the whole emotion, I guess, that just flew into this track. One member just wanted to get it out. Just wanted to get it out. I would do the same if I did a piece like that. And in between that, at the end, there was this beautiful, long, 2-minute last section of just drones after the complete explosion of noise. Drones slamming on pianos, getting all the instruments that they have, slamming all the guitars, everything just like explodes. It's like the end of the world. It's like Armageddon. It's the end. It sounds like the end of everything. That's maybe why it's so life-changing, something so new, something nobody have ever experienced, because it is like the explosion of everything, of every single molecule. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but it just feels like it. And if a piece of music does that to you, I don't know why my alarm got off. That's creepy. I never used that clock. Let's get to the last track, which is called Finally Peace. Let's listen.
With glittering hands, a colossal lamb, we're praising the sun for the damage he's done to move love with the lack of a cause. Now the city's dissolving and heaven's inhaling.
amazing last track. Just like it really it sounds like freedom. Such a grand sound. It's I don't even know how to describe it. Who is the female backing vocalist on this? It's amazing. I really would like to know. I don't know. What does Genius say? After an exhausting 2 hours of very meditative yet unsettling music, Michael Gira and company leaves off the record, and this current incarnation of Swans was a very tuneful and relaxing closer that slowly ramps up towards climax of numbly cycling and swirling vocals. I see, but who is this beautiful person who sings in this? I don't even see it right here, but it's beautiful. And it's such a wide, really also, like they said, a relaxing wide sound, and it's amazing. How can you end off a trilogy? Sometimes you really think about it. Can you really redo a story? Can you redo a trilogy? No. There's only the one chance, and this chance is beautiful. And it's always repeating your glorious mind, with glittering hands on collapsible land, praising the sun for the damage he's done. Like something like there is this apocalypse of the glowing man that happened, and at the end everything is destroyed, but you think, well, I hope the damage will be gone for a while. Ruinous eyes, so oh, what is a mind for? Eyes or mind for? Just a knife in a lake, just an aura in space. All creation is hollow in a picture's shadow, just a symptom of love with a lack of cause. Now the city's dissolving, and heaven's inhaling, dissolving, while the ocean is thinking of a surface reflecting glorious mind, and so on. It sounds like an end of everything, but still how the title was called, it's finally peace. It's like paradise, it's something like that at the end happens, which really fulfills you, which makes me feel of like the renovations, and it's beautiful on this one. Let's end up this beautiful piece of music. As I said, what a beautiful end to end a trilogy. It's a perfect outro, not for just this album, for the whole trilogy. I didn't even know where to start to talk about this album, because this album just like builds up to this end with the glowing man final piece. All those little parts in between that are just like some really little treasures that just Jira kept to really unfold at the end. Like the tracks we talked about, which was just so important to get old also. I don't know why that was so important, but when I think about it, if they wouldn't did these tracks, what would this album be? Like, When Will I Return? And People Like Us, such amazing tracks. Um, I didn't even know where to start. It's a perfect album. What do I have to say? It's an experience, something else you've never have in music, nowhere else you can find. So I encourage everyone to just keep on listening to this beautiful trilogy right here. And we end with The Glowing Man. I'm a little bit sad because those were some of the three best albums I've ever listened to, and this trilogy, every album would be such a good album. I probably will give you some extra thoughts, but right now, I don't know. I'm feeling on Swans, The Glowing Man, a 10. As a whole album, I don't know what else to say. It just, as a whole album, it's perfect. Maybe not every song stands out between the title track. Of course, it's a title track, it has to stand out as a whole or as a single thing. But all these 8 tracks all together within this 2 hours and these 6 hours as a trilogy is just perfect. These are all the 10. It's a 10 trilogy. It's a masterpiece of a trilogy. It's perfect. What do I have to say? Final piece. And we begin with just like something very soil from the ground. With lunacy. And we end with final piece after The Glowing Man, one of the best Swans track I've ever listened to. Such a gem at the end of the discography. It's amazing. So yeah. I'm speechless. What else do I have to say? I see you on the next Swans reaction. Keep listening to this one. It's a perfect thing. Coming up from the beginning, the seer, right up from the ground, from the soil, waking up, being a human, experiencing the sort of like the spirituality that Jiro has and something like that, going on to be kind, something like an apocalypse, something deeply infuriating in between humans, laughing at each other, hating each other, beating each other, fighting each other. And at the end, you see that not people itself are maybe the things that kept each other's away, or something that fight each other's. Maybe at the end it's still like, if we think about the track that also the wife of Jira put out, it's something that shouldn't happen. At the end we all have to fight against just the natural cause that will happen and our fate. Maybe something like that. It really makes us think. But well, I hope everyone will have finally peace. See you. This album is very good. Where do I start? I mean, as a third part for this trilogy, this couldn't be any better. It's not something, it's not copying all the other 2 parts. Something very new. That what the trilogy should be. It should be culmination or altogether story. But of course you wouldn't make a 6-hour album, right? That would be a hell. Also just hell to press the vinyl down, right? You don't do that. Juicy. Alright. I think The Glowing Man is one of the best albums in this Swans discography. It's at least in the top 4. Is it the best? You can't even say. Every Swans album is different in its own theme, idea, story. While the trilogy is something just for itself, I wouldn't even compare it to any other trilogy or album, volume, rollout or something. I don't know what you would call it. But just one thing I noticed, there isn't really anything you can compare it with, even though it was Swan's own music before this one. I mean, Father Will Guide Me Up to the Rose, blah blah blah, is an album which is just kind of like a testing, just testing the new group, what is possible, what are the instruments we will use in the future, and so on. And so the trilogy came out, which is one of the best groups in general, all of music in my opinion, so far what I listened to all my life. So yeah, I just think that this album, The Glowing Man, is just still a masterpiece, a perfect album. It's a 10. What do I gotta say? Damn, these melons are really great. It's summer in it. I bought some new sunglasses today. No, I messed up my shirt. Oh, whatever. My ankle. Well, anyways. It's a 10. It's a perfect album, perfect story, perfect combinations, different themes, very otherworldly, futuristic, dystopian, but also something with deep songwriting. When Will I Return? For example, something really deep into the personal lives of the Michael Gio's wife. And that's themes that really occur also into this album. Also, The Glowing Man was such a great writing. It's one of the best songs I've ever listened to in my life. Well, yes, I mean, it has some characteristics which really just makes it as an easy competitor because of the 32 minute and 28 minutes. So, well, but still, it's a masterpiece. This album right here is just a 10. That was everything. I see you on the next review. I'm gonna continue enjoying my melon. See you.